Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me because this car is so freaking loud. But I typed something out this morning that I was going to share with y'all that happened. But the post was just too long. So I'm like, let me go ahead and just make a video. Anywho, this morning I'm in the McDonald's line as I normally am to get my son oatmeal and hash brown before he goes to school. He likes to eat his oatmeal and hash brown. So the way the line is set up, there are two lines that merge into one once the order is placed so you can go to the window. I'm in one line and there's a car that's in another line, but while we're ordering, we happen to finish at the same time. Since we finish at the same time, we happen to start pulling off at the same time to go to the window. Now, when I pulled off with caution because I already know when lines are set up like this, a lot of times, I was say 9 times 10, but yeah, 9 times out of 10, there's gonna be at least one person that's gonna try to jump in front of somebody else's car so they can get their order first. So I pulled off with caution and she began to pull off and tell me why she hit the gas, like she hit her gas hard so she can shoot up in front of me, which caused her to be directly behind the car that was in front of us. So I still, kept driving with her, proceeded to drive. But when this happened, I automatically began to laugh. And I didn't laugh because I was upset, but there has been times where this has happened and I got upset. But when it happened, y'all, I immediately just laughed. And the reason I laughed because this situation automatically hit me in a spiritual way. And since it hit me in a spiritual way, I was tickled, like I was laughing. But what you need to know is there are some people who are making it their business to do some things before you do, to get some things done before you do. There are some people who are intentionally telling themselves, let me hurry up. Let me hurry up so I can go ahead and get my food blessing first. But what I want you to know and understand is no matter who's ahead of you, what's yours is still yours. The promise is still set in stone. You need to understand that the promise is still set in stone. Oftentimes we get so distracted and we're looking at how quick other people are moving, how other things are happening for other people so fast, and we get distracted and we get discouraged. But you have to come to a point in your life where you realize no matter who's doing what's yours is still yours. What God promised, what God spoke, what God, the ideas and visions and the dream that you have, that God has given, is still for you. Now, there are a lot of people who sit back and they pay attention to people doing this and people doing that. There have been some of you all who have stepped back and shared some things with people saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And you see that very person begin to do the same thing you said you wanted to do before you do. And there are some people that you may not have shared it with, and you may also see them doing it before you've had the opportunity to do so. And you become distracted. But what you have to realize is no matter how many people are doing what, when God has given you something, that means his hand is on it. So when God has his hand on the very thing that he's giving you, that means you are already set up to prosper in that very area. No matter who's doing it, you're already set up to prosper because the hand of God is on that very thing. So there's no way you can lose. Do not become distracted because Pookie and Shun and Ray and Tay and them already doing it. Just because they're doing it don't mean that God is in it. Anytime you have a person that sit up and steal the very thing that you spoke that you wanted to do to them, just know that it may progress a little bit for a little while, but it will not prosper. God did not say that whoever moved the quickest receives all the blessings. No, what he said is the race is not given to the swift. He also said that he knows the plans that he has for us, plans for us for our good and not our harm. So that already lets me know you plan for me to live in abundance. You plan for before. So why am I worried about who's getting the pay raise before me? Who received the house or the apartment before me? Who got the new job before me? Who got a new car before me? Why am I worried about any of these things if you already know the plans that you have for me? If he made you a promise, then that's a plan. Do not become distracted. Stay in line. God does not run out of blessings. We just lose faith in the blessing and in God. Our faith begins to decrease because things are not happening on our timing. But when it's already spoke, it's set in stone. We do not serve a God that lie or go back on his word of any of that. It may not come when you think it should come, but God has perfect timing, y'all. Divine timing. I like to say that God has divine timing. And with that divine timing, it calls things to happen in a way that's remarkable. It won't be a force. It won't be it's a smooth transition. So do not become distracted with people who tend to rush to get their order before you, the blessing before you, because yours are still there and waiting and available to you. You just got to stay in line. You got to be willing to stay in line. You got to be willing to remain encouraged. You got to be willing to keep the faith. You got to be willing to endure. Stop getting in situations or finding yourself in situations and finding out that things are becoming too hard for you, and you want to keep praying, God, please take me out of this, make this stop. No, because that very situation is producing, it's causing you to prosper. It's producing things in you that you didn't even know you had in yourself. It's setting you up to prosper. The prayer needs to be, God, comfort me in the midst of this confusion that I'm dealing with. God, comfort me in the midst of this chaos. God, be my peace in the midst of this situation. Even when I don't have understanding, God, can you be my peace? Can you be my strength? Give me the push and the strength to carry on a little while longer. God, help me to endure in the midst of this, because I know on the other side of it, you got me. Even while I'm in it, you got me. All I need to do is just get through and see what's waiting there. Stop praying to be out of things, because what we fail to realize, even when it don't feel good, we can't skip the process. Whether you want to be in it or not, you cannot skip the process. So since you have no choice but to be in it, you might as well go ahead and embrace it while you're in it. Rejoice while you're in it. Worship while you're in it. Praise God while you're in it. And ask God to walk with you while you're in it. Because no matter how many times you, God, please make it stop. Please take me out of it. I just don't want to deal with it no more. It's still going to be right there, waiting for you to get through it. So just embrace it. I encourage everybody listening to this to just stay in line. Don't get distracted and don't focus on what's happening for everybody else, how quick they doing this, how quick they doing it. Just because they moving fast don't mean they moving right. Just because they moving fast do not mean they're moving right. Stay in line. Your progress, your every move, every time that your car began to move up a little more, you're getting closer to the window. Every time your feet begin to move a little more, you're getting closer to the promise. You're getting closer to the dream. You're getting closer to the vision. You're getting closer every time you choose to walk. So I just encourage you to stay in line and be encouraged while you're in it. Have a good day.